Let's take a look at what is being done using words, changing definitions and the meanings of these words, and hiding knowledge from us. But why?
The blame was my own, the punishment yours, the harmony silent today. But into the stillness I'll bring you a song, and I will your company keep. To your tired eyes and my lullabies, I've carried you softly to sleep.
Culture, the production of bacteria or other microorganisms in a suitable environment. Or the cultivation or rearing of a crop.
So great was her reign, and so brilliant her glory, that long was the shadow she cast, which fell dark upon the young sister.
At what point did conscience become synonymous with guilt?
Lowly moon princess, good night, sister mine, rest now and move.
So let's take a look at the origin of the word conscience.
My lullaby, winds of the earth, through cloud and through sky and through space.
Let's look at science, a systematically organized, structured body of knowledge on a particular subject.
Your love so much more than you know. Forgive me for being so blind.
And this word, conspiracy. Look at how it's portrayed. And then let's take a look at the origin and how it was originally portrayed. How did it get transformed from to act in harmony, to breathe, spirit, to secret plan and destroy and pervert and plotting? How is this even possible?
That foolish pony did nothing to stop.
What was being covered up? What is being hidden? And why?
Well, you have these little crystals floating in your brain.
DMT is this, dimethyltryptamine. It's what the theory is that it's what's released by the pineal gland that gives us these elevated states of insight.
Maybe DMT is the lens of our pineal gland, allowing us to see wider areas of reality than are normally accessible to our senses.
Forgive me for being so blind. Soon did that pony take notice that others did not give her sister her due, and neither had she loved her as she deserved. She watched as her sister's unhappiness grew. But such is the way of the limelight, it sweetly takes hold of the mind of its host. And that foolish pony did nothing to stop.
You remember that image of like a Buddha with the halo? There's always a halo around the Buddha's head, or Jesus. People say there's a cross behind him in that halo, but it's the beams of light. It's exactly what you can learn or remember to activate.
Many ancient esoteric traditions and mystical schools knew of the potential of the pineal. The ancient Greeks believed it to be our connection to the realms of thought. Buddhists know it as a symbol of spiritual awakening. In Hinduism, the pineal connects with the third eye chakra, the seat of intuition and clairvoyance. Jesus proclaimed that the eye is the lamp of the body, so then if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. If René Descartes is right, and the pineal gland is indeed the seat of the human soul, then these traditions are correct in believing that it serves as the connecting link between the physical and spiritual worlds.
How did they know about the third eye? Because each chakra connects in to an organ. So what fascinates me is the sixth chakra plugs into the pineal gland. The pineal gland has photoreceptors on it. And yet they knew that thousands of years ago before they ever knew that there were photoreceptors on the pineal. So that to me, it shows you that we know a lot more in the past than we even do now with our technology.
The pineal?
Or perhaps this information and knowledge has been hidden. Here's an excerpt from one of my previous videos. Sphera Conspera was a project that was launched in 1963, and it was the result from an idea by Carlo Pietrangeli, director of the Vatican Museums. The Anunnaki are believed to have come from Nibiru, and Nibiru is known as the crossing planet. We have pine cones from the Anunnaki that have been found in a lot of the artifacts. The Sphera Conspera, that was an original idea from the director of the Vatican in 1963, is now sitting in the pine cone garden at the Vatican. Throughout the span of recorded human history, pine cones have served as a symbolic representation of human enlightenment, the third eye, and the pineal gland.
The pineal gland is lined on the inside with tissue called pinealocytes. These pinealocytes are similar to the rods and cones in the retina of your eye. That's right, it's the third eye. Your brain has a third eye in the center, and it has retinal tissue. It also has the same wiring as your physical eyes do to the visual cortex in your brain. How did they know that all the way back then? That would imply very advanced technology that would have been required for them to gain such incredible information about the brain. And yet they did. And so think about what that means. If you have little crystals that can vibrate and release all the colors of the rainbow.
So I looked up a little bit more about crystallography, and it's the arrangement of atoms in crystalline solids. But what really got my attention was that the United Nations declared 2014 the International Year of Crystallography.
And people claim when they go out of body or have a near-death experience that they see a silver cord. There is a cord linking their astral body to their physical body.
Indeed, it appears that the pineal gland is our connection to higher dimensions, giving us access to the psychic and spiritual realms. If this is true, then humanity is upon the precipice of a greater awakening as a whole. But this awakening does not come without its challenges and oppositions.
It's well known that fluoride interferes with the functioning of your endocrine system, the glands. These glands are the gateways to spiritual connection, to energetic layers. And I think what's really going on here is that fluoride shuts the door to spiritual connection.
So if you kind of keep the brain locked down, whether it's fluoride in the water, shut down the pineal, aluminum to disrupt the nervous system, you know, these artificial sweeteners, then we're just in a pen.
We clearly are not as aware as we could be of our potential and are not living a life that probably is as healing or as generous or as nurturing as we're capable of doing.
We have started to compartmentalize life, to separate out this from that, and to focus more on analysis rather than synthesis. It's just a short step from compartmentalization to secrecy.
That's why you get so many people today who are somehow convinced, and mainstream science is teaching this, that you are nothing but a biological skin bag, and that you do not have any existence beyond the physical. You have no consciousness, you have no spirit, no free will, and when you die, you're dead and gone, and that's permanent. Now, that's a very dangerous philosophy.
And we are dealing with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ADHD, all of these neurological diseases. And so I think there's a concerted effort to dumb down the population so that when they figure these things out, they're paralyzed and don't know what to do, don't know how to respond, or simply can't grasp the concept that it is happening, which is the bigger picture.
In the book of Revelation, people that have the mark of the beast on the forehead, that's the closed down pineal gland, the closed down third eye that prevents them from having access to the cosmic nature of who they are, and that will be transformed. That's a very important part of what's going on here. Spiritual death is transformed into enlightenment, and it will happen in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye.
Despite exposure to toxins in our environment and various chemicals in our heavily processed diets, humanity is still awakening.
This is all brain chemistry. Light hits your eyes, hits the pineal gland, changes chemicals inside your brain. Serotonin suddenly erupts in your brain. You get happy. That's all part of consciousness, and it's all guided by the sun.
The energy of the Earth is higher than it was in 2012, and it will continue to increase. All of the solar storms that are bombarding our Earth has been proven to create psychoactive experience.
And so the color of light changes your consciousness. And if the sun is changing, then it's possible that our consciousness is changing.
And it's all, I believe, part of this greater awakening that we're going through at this time. This pineal gland activation, you could call it that. You could call it the coming golden age. You could call it the energetic shift that we're going through at this time.
It could be that the changing nature of the sun over the last 20 years is what's causing the great awakening that's happening.
We need to work as a whole, as one. No more division. Thank you for watching, and much love to you all.